So I'll be right back, baby. You guys are just going to walk with me here on the way to get set up. Sorry if you're looking at my nose. I apologize. Good morning, Becca. Bear with me just a moment. I am trying to get Bruiser squared away, as well as my parents pulled up, right, literally as I was walking out the door. So you guys just bear with me. Where's Mother Crystal? I know I put it in here. There it is. Okay. All right. Give me just one moment. I'm also plugging my phone up to get just a few little final charges in it. All right. I'm just going to give it a moment for it to kick in. Let everyone tune in. Yes. Hello. Welcome. Apologies. I had to go. My parents pulled up. I had to go load the boys up. So there's a bunch of stuff happening simultaneously. So welcome. And I wasn't in here to reset it. So thank you, everyone. I know I've got a few people that are supposed to be joining from the group. So and now that it's actually live, people are going to be able to to drop in. So let's see here. And I have a feeling that my phone is probably laggy because it's cold in here. Really cold. Super cold. So, all right. Okay, everyone, I'm going to share. I did bring some crystals with me, and I haven't been bringing crystals with me for a little while, just simply because I go through these, just depending on the energy, I go through different phases of either feeling drawn to have their presence, or feeling drawn to have them communicating elsewhere. They're always greeting my space, always communicating from different dimensions. There's Yvonne. Hello, Yvonne. Just had more people pull up. So it's this time of year. So thank you guys for being patient as all of this is happening right now. So I did bring, I brought two different ones that I felt called to bring. It's interesting. My clear quartz has actually been collecting a lot of information. You can see how it's kind of foggy. It's because it collects and carries information. And so when it holds a lot of energy, it was a lot more clear when I first got it. Salma, welcome. I'm grateful you could join too, my dear. I thought you'd be working. So I'm really grateful to have you here. And I'm grateful. I know this is definitely going to be easier for you to receive than the 101. So I hope it's going to work out good for you energetically. Yeah. So if you guys feel called, you might want to connect with some crystals. We're going to have, oh, I'm sorry, Yvonne. I do feel, once we wrap the live, I do feel maybe it'll all come back together in a different format. Similar, maybe not exactly the same, but similar, which will allow for, everything just to come in a little bit differently, but also exactly as is necessary. So for those of you that are coming in from my group space, from Instagram, from Facebook, or even just from YouTube. Um, and I never ask you this. Is it How do you pronounce your name? Naledi? How do you pronounce? Do you go by Naledi, or do you go by the part of that? Abing, Abwing, Abwing. I would love to know how you pronounce that. I should have asked you on Instagram, and I did not. So, welcome. I'm so grateful to have you here with us. I'm so grateful to have you receiving Abuing. Oh, that's beautiful. Abuing. Abuing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for bringing your energy, your codes, and everything. Thank you for those present here for my group space. Thank you for bringing that which you are, that which you have mastered, and that which you are here to receive. I was gonna, I didn't drop in any specifics as to those that are going to be speaking through me. They are me. They are my higher selves. We have 12 higher selves total as a part of our monadic group. And so I'm going to be conversing with
fully
different
charged battery
aspects of myself,
unplunger.
and also those that I hold counsel with from those higher selves. So there will be a plethora of reflections. And one second. Let me make sure my dad's got the boys okay here, because he stopped. Okay, yeah. My dad had went in, he was changing, and I was like, Dad, I got the boys loaded up. And he was like, okay. Bless his heart, he's amazing. So there's going to be a plethora of reflections coming through. And what came through, if you were not present but you would like to receive my 1221 activation, it came in two parts. It was extremely powerful. We had an activation of magnetic light. We had an activation of light, travel through many 0-point fields, which is exactly what we're going to do here as soon as we finish the reflections. And actually, we're probably going to be doing that simultaneous. There's a lot happening, and it's going to be happening in layers. We're going to go through different densities, different fields of energy, experience multitudes of dimensionality, and also receiving reflections from that dimensional density or from that energetic realm, whether it's a subtle energy body or a major energy body, whatever it is, we're going to move through it because it's necessary for us to reflect upon it in the now moment. We're going to be receiving energy reflections as to what's here now to support us. And this is, I would definitely invite each of you to set the intention to receive through the gateway of your higher self, and allow the gateway of your higher self to be the conductor. Super consciousness is conducting. Remember, consciousness is the middleman. When you're conscious and you're aware, you still have an opportunity to filter through the egoic perception, which is a beautiful thing. Ego is not bad. It's not negative. It's just you have the subconscious planting the seeds, and then you have the egoic consciousness that's determining what you hear, what you see, what you perceive, and what you believe. And the conductor over all of that is super consciousness. That's your highest. And so we're going to move, and you're going to go as high as you give yourself permission to go. I will definitely open up and expand it and invite everyone to join me. So I will make it will be a little bit easier because the gateway will be open through me, but I will definitely say that the activation happens through you. It doesn't happen through me. I am simply just here guiding. So, okay, I'm going to plug in my heater, and then we're going to begin. If anyone has anything they would like to drop into the chat, if you have a question that you would like reflected on, I've already received some, and I will move through the way that I'm feeling it coming in is that I'm not going to speak a name directly. Everything is going to drop in referencing and reflecting. So of course, if you have requested reflection, you will recognize it. This will just be a little bit easier to flow seamlessly through the field of awareness, and allowing us to gauge based on energetically what is most present in the moment. Okay, I'm plugging the heater in, then we're going to begin. And that will give anyone a moment. If anyone that's here that hasn't already reached out and requested something, because I know there are some here that have, but okay, there we go. All right. And I do hope that the reception's okay now. Please let me know if the picture's cutting in and out. I would greatly appreciate it. If the reception is not good, just let me know. Okay. Okay, good. Thank you, Abuing. So grateful. Okay. All right. Just going to invite everyone. Thank you, Becca. Just going to invite everyone to begin dropping in. I would guide there to be a dropping in and connecting to your physical first, especially if you have a lot going on in your mental. And this is just going to allow you to ground yourself a bit more, feel the presence of yourself connected in this moment, feeling the presence of yourself in the physical plane, the safety, the security, and the touch. But of course, we don't want to get stuck there either. We're going to be moving. So giving yourself permission to move, moving, experiencing different ranges, different sensations, expanding your consciousness and allowing yourself to move higher and higher. And when we come back down, I will go through a process of decompressing us, because we will definitely need to decompress our nervous system. We will need to decompress our body because the intensity of the vibration will be pretty high. Okay, connecting, opening, and receiving. Moving and moving, accepting dematerialization, activating dematerialization, and shifting out of lower into higher. Connecting. Okay, welcome. Okay, let us begin. We'd like to begin by opening and activating the energy bodies. Relaxing into the energetic plane of consciousness, expanding, allowing yourself to discover the field as a form of waves, feeling the flux, feeling the ebb, feeling the flow, and moving away from the solid, the stuck. Honoring the material, honoring the manifestation, but allowing yourself to expand outside of. For you are not just the image, you are more than the image, giving yourself an opportunity to experience more than the image that you have created. Zooming out is what we would like to say. Zoom out so that you may see more of what you are. Expanding out, viewing yourself the cosmos in this moment, for you are present simultaneously through all planes, dimensionality, and density. Opening and activating the Earth Star, opening and activating the Earth Star, allowing the currents of the core, the diamond, the heart, the star of the Earth to open, expand, coming up into and through the Earth Star. Opening, expanding. And calling in crystalline compounds from the 5th dimensional, 6th dimensional, 7th and 9th dimensional astral and etheric, anchoring through the Earth Star. Expanding in preparation to move through multidimensional planes. Anchoring in the base of the feet, anchoring around the shoulders, the base of the neck, anchoring at the spine, the base of the spine, anchoring at the top of the spine, base of the neck, and the back of the skull. Anchoring third eye and crown, expanding in preparation for opening the crown, for receiving, opening, anchoring into the third eye in preparation for opening, expansion, and travel. And anchoring the front of the shoulders, back of the shoulders, and the heart. Anchoring in the palm of the hands. And activating these gateways. Expanding energy bodies, opening, expanding, activating physical plane. Activating physical plane as the wave. Activating opening the emotional body, opening the emotional plane, activating, expanding, experiencing it as the wave, the energy that is always in motion, it is always moving through. Experiencing the physical plane as the vibrational molecular that is always in motion, it is never solid. Now, as we are moving through these points of activation, I would invite you to walk yourself deeper into the sensations, as if you were walking down a flight of steps, walking deeper into the breath, anchoring deeper into the sensations. And opening the mental body, activating, expanding. Mental body being the space of thoughts and forms of thoughts. And we would invite those thoughts to be present, but allowing yourself to be aware of the direction, the dictation, and the definition that you give the thoughts. Being aware that how you shape your reality is determined by these thought forms. And from this space, we would like to reflect as we prepare to go deeper. That a question was posed in relation to certain contracts, experimentations. We would like to reflect that the experiments that take place in relation to the holographic realities that are placed within the field were a part of agreements made prior to incarnation. They are also agreements that are made during incarnation. When you go into the egoic definition of reality, And you consistently accept that that is the only thing that is. There are multitudes of holographic realities that are inserted to accommodate and give the opportunity for experience. Because the ego cannot operate and does not operate higher, it is necessary to have the holographic realities as a part of the experience. Remember, the definition that you give to the words determines how you hold the experience. And we would like to zoom out and give you an opportunity to review before we go further to see, is there any form of thought? Is there any definition? Is there any determining factor that is going to prevent you from holding an experience that is pure, that is free, that is open, that is expansive? For if the determining factor declares that it is not needed, then there will be a great resistance to receiving. So give yourself a moment to change the definition, to shift the dialogue, to allow in the experience. This is your world, this is your reality, and you are the creator. You determine, you choose. And opening, expanding soul star. Opening, activating soul star. Opening, activating. Expanding soul star, coming into the connection with the causal body, expanding. And from this place, I'm going to please invite everyone to declare, I accept, I receive. And opening, activating cosmic star. Opening, activating sun star. Opening, activating universal star. And opening and activating spirit star. Activating the orbit from spirit star to earth star. Opening and expanding the central channel. Opening, 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 expanding, expanding, activating through central channel, and opening up through the cosmic star, calling in all higher councils, all of those convening in this moment, coming in from the highest frequency, highest support, highest light, calling into the field and expanding. Expanding the field, expanding the field, expanding the field. Inviting in all soul extensions. We invite everyone to this party. Inviting in. Inviting in. We are being guided to focus through the sun star, coming into the sun star. Opening and activating gateway to the central sun, activating and opening. Connecting through the heart and higher. pulling up, 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 and activating gateway. And we will begin the process of moving. Opening, 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 opening through the sun star. Opening, 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 activating, and moving. Opening, accepting, and receiving what is here now. Energetically opening, accepting, and reviewing. So we have been highly aware of a lot of intersecting gateways of solar platform, shall we say. Different opportunities, different lines as we come to the end of this solar time. And we've been closing a lot of moon, lunar, closing a lot of lunar gateways. So as we come into the sun star, opening, accepting, and receiving what is here. Reviewing these different lines, these gateways, heralding in the change, heralding in the new. It is not just the new year. There is a new, of course, always line or lines that are integrating. Beginning the process of acclimating to the higher lines, acclimation in process, tuning and toning to the higher lines, coming in through the sun star, central sun gateway acclimation. Activating, opening, 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 activating. Opening all solar meridians, activating through all solar meridians, and activating all planetary meridians, opening and activating. You will notice yourself opening and expanding. Wing space opening, third eye opening, major gateways coming in through these access points. Opening access, opening the third eye, expanding the third eye. We'd like to expand the third eye a little bit, softly, gently, allowing in the gateway. There was a bit of pressure, expanding, dematerializing, the physical, dematerializing. Dematerializing, opening the gateways and the temples, moving into the connection with the sun star, the central sun gateway, higher lines opening, these gateways are opening the central nervous system, allowing for higher fractals of light to move through, like diamonds. Reflecting from a state of higher density, which is a reflective state. There's a tendency in the material realm to deflect or to be singularly focused on an egoic manifestation. These lines operate like strings of diamonds. But this is also why the necessity of mastering lower basal desires is absolute. Because we want everyone to have whatever it is that they want, but we do not want them to need whatever it is that they have. For there is the stickiness. The stickiness, as the emotional plane is and can be a sticky place. If one gets stuck there like glue and is not able to move, it is because they are needing of something. But to hold a string of pearls or to hold a string of diamonds and to weave them through your mind would be akin to what is here and what is being presented. We invite you now to open your heart, open the space, receiving as it is being interwoven into and through your gene code in this moment. You may feel some nausea, for we are aware that this vessel is feeling nausea. You may feel some pressure in the crown. If you do, just assist yourself by opening those gateways. And moving through now a 0-point gateway. Opening, and activating, receiving the solar lines, receiving and moving through the gateway of anchor. Moving. You may feel pulling, you may feel stretching, allowing your body to move in the way that it is guided by the higher framework of consciousness, the super, the director, the conductor. Okay. And so through these lines, let us stand and review what is here. We are hearing new incoming material planes. New incoming material planes of higher light, calibrated to the tone of the diamond pearl. Carrying a pearlescent pink hue, a tone with a diamond undertone and overtone of reflection. These are they are not usually seen by the physical eyes. Let us remind that these are sensations of the unseen. They are waves. Although your physical eyes are becoming more sensitive, tuning to the ranges. Incorporating these realities will mean moving through the tune, the tone, the gateways. We will call these forward now. Calling forward the pearlescent gateway. And anchoring Earth Star. Opening and activating pearlescent gateway. Opening, pulling up, and receiving. Expanding all the way around. And anchoring, coming through the heart, expanding. Anchoring, coming through the third eye, expanding. Anchoring, coming through the crown, expanding. expanding, filling up with the pearlescent tone, and we would now invite in the grays, the conductors of the oversoul of the planet, calling in and calling forth the grays, inviting in the connection. Okay, dear ones, we will now work in the field, recovering, reconstructing, designing, interweaving. Again, we would like to remind many of you that what you perceive of as a grays is usually something for many that is scary, that is fearful. Although we are here as the creators. And that is difficult for some. It is difficult for some because many view the angelic forces. But let us remind you that those in those realms do not come into lower density. We are here and we serve in the lower planes as the creators, just as you are creators. But we work directly with those in the higher planes, and it is our bestowal as a creation of the planetary oversoul, overseeing the collective mind. It is why many of you have seen us. We've appeared to you, or an image has appeared. For we are always here. We're going to take a moment and move through the psychic plane with your acceptance. We are feeling that this vessel is undergoing some discomfort of nausea, so we are going to work in an attempt to ease that, or we will step back and allow her to readjust. Okay. Please declare if you accept and receive. And you are going to feel some intensity pulling down around your shoulders through multiple planes of reality as we move in. Now the grays are coming in to provide an energetic infrastructure. And this energetic infrastructure is working one moment, moving through a reset of my own nervous system here. And I'm just requested that others take a moment, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, inviting in. They're here. I'm just feeling, I get extremely nauseous when that energy steps in. I'm not for sure if anyone else is feeling that. If you are, may need to stand up and move around for a moment. 1 second. Mm. Okay, we're gonna go through a few things here. Opening, clearing, 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 opening, clearing, opening, clearing, opening, clearing, opening, clearing, clearing, opening, clearing, opening, clearing, 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 clearing. Opening, clearing, 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 opening, 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 clearing, energy, clearing, 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 opening. Moving the energy through the gut, moving the energy through the nervous system, moving all energy through. Moving all energy through. Moving all energy through. Nervous system is safe. Nervous system is anchored. Nervous system is anchored. Anchored. Moving through. Moving that moment up and out and passing through. Opening. Accepting. Okay. Connecting back in. Moving higher. Safe. Grounded. Anchored. 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 Of course, I know that I'm safe, but the nervous system gets a bit excited. There's a lot happening. Okay, inviting the grays in. I'm just going to ask them to move through and begin moving through the different multitudes of planes, and I will join in a connection. I will move into that connection. I'm just going to move through a little bit at a time here. Dematerializing physical plane, dematerializing the matter, opening the nervous system, grounded. Grounded. Grounding the energy, grounding the energy, grounding the energy. Calling in ultraviolet flame. Not for sure any of you are feeling it to this intensity, but I am. Calling in ultraviolet flame. Moving into ultraviolet flame, surrounding the nervous system. And breathing in the energy. Breathing in the energy. Acclimating to the sun star. Now, even as I'm moving through, and I am grateful to each of you for hanging in there as I move through this, I do feel where I made a jump there. Should have acclimated a little bit better because their energy is extremely powerful. So we're going to go through some lower alignments here really quickly and some clearings to make room for the energy. Opening, activating root. Opening the gateway of the root and releasing, opening, releasing, opening, releasing, opening, clearing all energy that is not able to align and support. Opening sacral, opening, clearing, releasing, expanding. Releasing, expanding, releasing all energy that is not able to support. Opening and activating solar plexus, opening, activating, expanding, releasing all energy that is not able to support. Clearing, expanding. Taking a moment here to communicate with the nervous system. And if you feel any nausea or any discomfort, take a moment to communicate with the nervous system. From the space of super consciousness, you are able to communicate. Okay, we're going to take a moment here, acclimating the nervous system, and we're going to begin moving. What I would invite in here now, inviting in the higher selves, all other higher selves, inviting in the soul extensions to come in and begin the process of acclimating the nervous system along with the ultraviolet rays, pearlescent, and diamond. Moving through the process of acclimation. It might feel like, even for me, I'm hearing the sounds go really slow. You can even hear the sounds warping and everything is slowing, and then it's going to speed up really quickly. Okay, beginning the preparation. And once I move into the connection with the grays, I will communicate what is happening. Just need to take a few moments to acclimate the system, for there is a major reconstruction that is underway. And so we are moving through different ranges of attunement. Okay, attuning now through the ultraviolet. Ultraviolet cosmic attuning. Attuning. Ultraviolet cosmic is direct third eye. Okay, attunement received. Okay, pearlescent. Opening, receiving, pearlescent attunement. Opening, receiving. This one's really heavy through the feet. Being pulled down. Ultraviolet was pulling up, pearlescent pulling down. All energy pulling. Going through the pearlescent gateway. Attuning. Coming through the gateway. Coming through. And you'll notice that all of these attunements are hitting differently. They're coming in differently. You're going to feel them differently. And now beginning, I'm hearing aquamarine diamond, actually. Aquamarine diamond. And calling this in and beginning that attunement. That's a big one. It might feel like you're being pinched and pushed and pulled. You're moving through some really intense, really powerful magnetic gateways. And these are 0-point anti-gravity based. We're moving higher. Aquamarine diamond. Feeling that majorly through the chest, shoulders, central part of the body. And now aligning and attuning all, connecting collectively, attuning all collectively. Moving through these attunements. And then we will connect in with the grace. And thank you for your patience and your understanding as I allow myself to move through. Now, each of these gateways are providing attunements. If you feel that it's necessary, if you feel that you're receiving something else through the gateways, please allow. We're moving into position, if you will. We're moving, and our antenna is receiving a multitude of tones, tunes, and acclamations. Opening, 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 opening the spine. Opening the spine. Anchoring. Anchoring. Okay, coming into place. Coming into opening, accepting. Now it may feel like there is a massive open space in front of you. Allow yourself to see a mirror. Mirrors, gateways. Opening. Inviting in a little bit at a time, inviting in the connection to the grays, inviting in. Now they have moved into the space in between, which is also the space within and without. Taking a moment to attune and acclimate. Acclimating the nervous system, acclimating all systems are acclimating. Okay, beginning the process of reflection. Dear ones, we are here now. You will feel us now moving in the spaces in between within. Moving through the different planes. As the creators of the Oversoul. We operate through means. We operate as support and assisting systems, if you will. You may call us guides, but we are really not guides. We are more than that. Your guides are those that have been with you since birth, and in a sense, we have too. For we are a part of the birth of the planet. We are a part of the oversoul of the planet, for we have created the oversoul, the collecting point, the melting pot. And as this melting pot is colliding with a breaking point in time, it is necessary upon your request, and we say necessary because it is available and it is necessary, but it can only happen by your request and through your acceptance. For we will now move through the fields and we will operate through the fields, reconstructing the design that opens up the spaces in between time, which again, shall we remind you that time is an internal space. It is not external. Time does not happen outside of you. It happens through you. Time is an internal clock. It is designed by you and for you. It gives the illusion of movement. Simultaneously, there is movement, but it is happening in a multitude of layers that are not always determined by the internal clock. Again, this is a paradox. For there is a time that happens in layers, dimensions, and realms that you internally are not able to access in this moment. It is not a part of your design in this moment, for your design in this moment is determined by the time in which you have dictated here. So we are here with you now, but we are also not here with you now. Again, a paradox. We are meeting you in this moment, shall we say. And we are here with the unconditional love and acceptance of all that is. For you, we look at you, we see you as we see ourselves. As children that are always discovering. Looking for the connection. And again, let us remind you that that connection is always internal, just as the clock is internal. The connection is internal. It is not external. For the only thing that can appear to you externally is your image of us, whatever you choose to see. For we cannot appear to everyone at the same time. We cannot appear to everyone at the same time as an image of ourselves. But we can appear to each of you through the mind, and you project the image. For we are energy, but we do manifest ourselves in form. When necessary, we have that capacity, for we have chosen not to rise higher beyond the realms of no form. And we are aware of some necessary subatomic reconstructions to be able to meet energetically through the oversoul that breaks through the threshold. You must be in agreement to meet yourself there. So, allowing yourself now to please accept, and if you do accept, then we will guide energetically, vibrationally, into each of the anchor points on the microcosmic level, which will anchor you into the higher paradigms. These paradigms are open, free spaces. You create what is within them. We are simply guiding into an open and free space, a clean slate, if you will. But as soon as you perceive it, you create it. That is the beauty of it. We would invite you to drop any expectations or preconceived notions of what this may be, to give it an opportunity to live freely in a way that is not bound by an assumption, an expectation, or an opinion. Open your hearts to the beauty of what is. Open your hearts to the unconditional love of an acceptance of all that is, and allow the design to be born from that which is. For you are creators, but you're also here as observers, observing your own creation. And we will now begin working through the multitudes of planes in the psychic realm and the reconstruction and guidance. You will feel your body moving. Allow your body to move. We will guide and align. And we would ask for moments of pause, if you will. There will be no words, but there will be a lot of movement. And we are resetting now. And resetting all systems on the material plane to receive. Now, many of you are wondering what this reconstruction is and the guidance in relation to. You have many parallel realities in which you exist simultaneously, and you are meeting now in the simultaneous moment of the present awareness. And we are calling all realities parallel existences and reactions to all realities into the present moment of awareness. We would call you in from all moments and all planes, although simultaneously you can only perceive one moment at a time. We are simply just calling your focus and awareness in from all mirrors, all portals of yourself through time. We call these to the now, to the present moment, the one that is focused and aware, and all that are focused and aware in this moment, bringing the focus to the internal clock of now. And again, dichotomy. And moving through the attunements. We are reconstructing through time. And you see, dear ones, you have present, past, and future simultaneously. Many are still operating from past. We are aware of this. Even though you feel that you are present in the awareness of what is here now, you are operating through the past. It is a very interesting placement, shall we say. You may feel yourself getting lighter. For the paradox is that all is happening simultaneous. But your focus is usually on the past, on the manifestation, the parallel existence, keeping you echoing through time, focused on the material manifestation. What we invite in now is a lifting, a release, allowing yourself to observe all moments, panning out. For every moment holds a response, every moment holds a reaction, every reaction creates an infinite echo through time. Every response creates an infinite echo through time and therefore creates infinite parallel realities. And you meet yourself in every single reaction and every single response. You meet yourself there through time. You are also meeting yourself through time. In every moment that you choose to focus on the physical material, you remain stuck in the physical material. Because time moves differently in the internal than it does in the external. The external time is the past. The internal time is the present. And as you are looking through the mirror of time right now, we invite you to take a look. What do you see before you? What is happening through you? What realities are you creating? And if there are any that appear that you do not desire, then shift your vibration of want. Anchoring higher now. Loosening the grip a little bit more on the material reality that you think you need. Lightening into the plane of nothing. And we now call in the open spaces. The open and free portals of time, the open and free experiences beyond the creative karmic cycles. Anchoring now through the heart. Anchoring now through the Earth Star. Anchoring in all free spaces. And in these free spaces, we would invite you now to open your heart and invite in what is it that you want. And we do not speak of that which you need. We speak of that which you want. Would you like a life that is full and happy? Would you like a life that is healthy? Would you like to live a life that is full? What is it that you want? Allow yourself to place whatever it is that you want in these empty spaces. And we will now move into the spaces in between in the subtle realms, working in the reconstruction, working in the integration points. And we will meet you there. We thank you. And they have pulled into the planes to begin assisting in the integration. We will now bring in golden platinum rays, showering these spaces with golden platinum light, showering these spaces with diamond opalescent, integrating and pulling in through the heart, weaving the moments of time with golden pearlescent, weaving the moments of time with golden platinum, weaving, 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 creating the design. And now we will join with the oversoul of the collective from the high point of light with the grays. All higher selves as a soul. Connecting. Interweaving through the oversoul, interweaving the higher lines of time, interweaving. Wow, what a space of lightness this is. It's just so light. Everything is so light, so free. And beginning to feel different anchor points coming in, different magnetic anchor points. So everything that was showered, all the moments are anchoring, all the magnetic points are anchoring. These different lines are a construct of your higher super, integrated into the physical material, allowing you to meet yourself from a space of freedom, of unconditional, of acceptance, of allowing. And every single time that you meet yourself, in every single moment in that internal clock of accepting and allowing, you weave together all the moments of time, unified from a single space that is unified through that point of accepting all that is, accepting your reality, accepting your environment, accepting everything. We tend to be the judge, the jury, and the executioner, but that is no longer necessary. That is karma. Lower karma is the judge, the jury, and the executioner of things. Higher karma is in service of the moment. It is in service of the moment. Therefore, it is accepting of the moment. It loves the moment. It allows the moment, because the moment is simply an experience of its own creation. And everyone shows up in support of the creation and whatever that creation was. If you created that moment to provide you with an opportunity to argue, because in your mind, at some point, you created a moment of conflict. And it just simply materialized whenever it was that it materialized as an opportunity for you to experience. But you do not have to have that same experience that you created in your mind. You can offer yourself a different experience. You can come into the moment and not have the moment by the design in which it was created. You can create a different design. So conflict. And as we see conflict happening across the world right now, conflict is a moment in time that has been continual because no other choice has been made, as we know. And now that we are in a space of receiving, as we have been, and the grays have really assisted and opened us up into a space of receiving and allowing. It's very beautiful. And really feeling the connection to the oversoul of the planet, feeling the connection to the oversoul of self. And again, we thank you in allowing us to move through the different ranges of attunement. These have been very, very powerful. We do hope that, and as we move forward, we're going to go through different pockets of unfolding, if you will, and reflecting. So coming upon this holiday season, what is it that you are most connected to? Remember, this holiday season is a moment in time. It comes around every year, the same moment. As an external time clock. But we would invite you now, what is your internal clock? What is your internal view? What is your internal perception? What is your internal reality calling in? We understand the communion with the external. We understand the communion. And we do hope that everyone loves the external manifestation that they have created. For every single moment is an opportunity to love that which you have created. That is what it is here for. It is here for you to love it. All the different things that happen, the injuries, it's exciting. It's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunities to experience myself in this way, is what we should be saying. Because we manifested it. We manifest injury to give us ourselves an opportunity to learn. We manifest everything as an opportunity to learn. It comes before us because we have created it. Do you love your creation? Or do you deny it? Do you fight it? Remembering everything that you see with your physical eyes is yours. It is yours. You can only see that which is yours. You cannot see another person's theirs. You can't see theirs. You can only see yours. We now call in a collective collaboration of the higher selves in motion right now, connecting through all space and all time. We would like to remind everyone that what is happening on a microcosmic level is a consistent reorganization through time as we are speaking. You are rearranging yourself to meet yourself in this exact moment. And the reason why we invite you to accept and love your reality is because all points of your creation are being magnetized to this moment. There is a great force, a magnetic pull around this gathering in this moment right now, and it is pulling all things to it. It is a force field. It is an orbit, and right now all things are orbiting. Welcome, collective councils. Thank you for coming. All things are orbiting, and all things are here supporting. Maybe it is your physical that you are unwell and you are unhappy. Well, at one moment in time, you defined yourself as being unwell and unhappy, and it manifested. And then when it manifests, then you complain about it and you wonder why. You must manifest differently. If you would like to feel better, you manifest feeling better. Your body is a manifestation of your mind. And if your mind is always busy and absorbing other things, meaning, let us remind you that your mental body is energy. It is an information collective. It is formed of thoughts. Your subconscious is a field of memory. Your consciousness meets you between the field of that which it knows and that what it thinks about it knows. And if you stop yourself there and you go no further, then you see no further. What is here in this moment in the physical manifested reality is already your past. And if you focus on your past, which is where most people focus, then you're not manifesting differently because you're so consumed with your past. And we are not speaking of past lives, for past lives actually move through in every single moment, through every single parallel reality. They're actually not past. They're only past by your present perception. Those lives are happening simultaneous to now, and you meet yourself in the now, in the moment that you choose to be aware of. So some past life in some civilization that happened in some reality that you compartmentalize, you've created it that way. For time doesn't operate that way, nor does your lives. You could see it like a projecting roll, like a sheet, and you see one of those moments at a time, but they're all happening simultaneously. It's just you're usually viewing it as the projector, not as the one overseeing. Very interesting thing, that projecting mind. It is how you see all realities, past, present, and even the future. For the future is now, and once you become aware of it now, it then becomes your past. So those past lives in Atlantis and Lemuria and different civilizations, on the physical material plane, they are no more. Yes. But in the field of memory and existence, they are happening. You don't exist there in physical form, and yet you do. So where do we go from here as the planet is what many people would like to know. What is the new Earth, the future? How are we creating the new Earth? My dears, this means it is choice. For you do have parallel existences where you have moved through and held different experiences. You exist there too. Some of you, as a hybrid. Many of you have come back to this present moment, in this incarnation, if you will, which is just a moment in time. You have come back here to, shall we say, correct a few things. Many people are attempting to create an entire planet. The planet is moving by design. It is moving by will, and it is moving by choice. You will always meet the physical material at the physical material. Fifth density, fifth dimension, yes, is atomic. It is not the material as you know it, which means this is why we are speaking from a space that invites in a remembering that a obsession over physical material is only one version of reality. It is only one plane. You can move into many planes. And now we will guide into fifth density, fifth dimension. Allowing yourself to open, expand. And meet yourself in that moment in time, in that plane of existence. Anchoring. Anchoring. Yes. Here in the plane of dimensionality, what are you aware of? Fifth density, fifth dimension. Of course, the full density of fifth density, fifth dimension is not available to you in this now moment, in this existence. But you can move there. And you can transmit from that version of you to this version of you. This version of you is this version of you in this moment, in this incarnation. So what is it in this moment, in this incarnation, shall we say, in this moment, in this point of time? What is it that you would like to choose? What is it, if any, that you would like to change? Are you allowing change? Maybe parallel existences in fifth density and fifth dimension, you were closed off from the change that is necessary and available to you now. Allowing yourself to review everything that moves through your awareness. Opening the gateway of the heart and receiving. Receiving all lines, receiving all moments, reviewing. And allow yourself to land. Land in the moment. Receiving the calibration and reconstruction from the fifth dimensional plane. Opening and accepting of every materialized experience that comes from the receiving of the information. And everything will manifest in this plane continuously to accommodate and moving now into sixth dimension, accessing the information of the density, moving higher, opening, Opening the field of memory, accessing all moments in time through 6 density, 6 dimension, receiving through the heart. Receiving. And what is it that you see? Many think this is their past or future version. Many think because you are here in this density, in this dimension, that, yes, 6, thank you. Many believe that this is the future version of you, but it is happening simultaneous to now, and you can connect in and receive. So opening and receiving. And receiving. And anchoring in through the Earth star, in through the planetary grid, anchoring. And now we would call in the collective councils of the grays, the blues, the blue grays, the whites, pearlescents, connecting into the planetary oversoul, and receiving grid infrastructure. Please accept and receive. Remember that these are manifested beings that are part of the creative oversoul. Your perception of what is being said determines the experience. If you believe it is nonsense, then you will experience nonsense. If you tune in and you allow yourself to experience the tone and the vibration, so shall you. Loving points of creation that come into the lower manifested in service of source. Assisting and upholding their service is the creation of the oversoul of the planet. The grays are the main creators of the oversoul of this planet. And just receiving the love that is pouring in column and reconstruction. Opening the gateway at the base of the neck, opening the gateway at the base of the spine, opening the gateway in the shoulders, opening and receiving, activating diamond pearlescent tone in the spine. Receiving, And now we will move through reconstruction on a DNA scale, reconstructing through body, reconstructing through mind, emotions, emotional bodies. Again, it can be that sticky place. So we are not accessing through the emotional body in this moment. The emotional body is supporting as an open plane, a free plane of energy through our channel. Reconstructing. Many might be curious why we do not call in the angelic plane. The angelic plane is a plane that is far beyond the material, but it does come in through the spirit star if the energy is requested. In this moment, we are simply moving through. There's the energetic plane of the angelics is a shell. It's a shell that is original. It does not come into material. What we know of, what we call the angelic is spirit. No form. But they are given form through the archetypal shell that we exist in, which is also how we give form to gods and goddesses. We give them form. We give them names. Opening. Reconstructing. Aligning. Moving through axonal alignment. Reconnecting all planes, reconnecting all lines of time. Coming into the moment of awareness. How do you accept this moment? If you accept it with gratitude and love, if you accept it with unconditional, then it all comes back together as the unconditional acceptance of all that is, which is acting out through you in every moment that you choose to express the unconditional of all that is. It lives through you in the choice. It lives through you in the choice and the perception. I am feeling through the oversoul, feeling that source spirit connection coming in through that unconditional acceptance. Taking a moment just receiving through the gateway of unconditional. Receiving the pouring in from the planes that are unseen and no form. Remember, even when it comes to Yeshua and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene, their form and their name was in this plane and this time. Remember, they have moved on. They are in service, but they operate. Shall we say, they are incarnate. They have moved on. They have different forms. We see the image of. The masters serve, but they only serve through one plane in that image. We become very connected to the image. Remember, they are no longer in that image, but at the same time they are. They are. because they exist as that, just as we exist as this in this moment through all planes of time connected to this image of us. On the higher planes, we connect as frequency, as tone. So allowing yourself to simply accept, and loving those that cannot understand. Allowing yourself to meet all aspects of yourself in this moment of unconditional acceptance. Judgment can never be placed upon another. You pass judgment, you pass it on yourself. No one else receives the judgment but you. So allowing yourself to accept all versions of yourself through all points in time, accepting all points of creation. And we will open up, moving through the cosmic star. For those that are open and able to receive, they will receive. For those that are closed off by judgment, they will receive nothing but the judgment. That is your world. That is your creation. That is all you see. But for those that are more, they will see more. They will experience more. They will be freed. And feeling the opening into the higher space of the cosmic star, expanding, opening, receiving the attunements through the cosmic, attuning and toning, and anchoring through Earth Star. Anchoring, moving higher, going in through the universal star, expanding, expanding into the universal space of unconditional God source, unconditional God, unconditional creation, expanding. You're exactly correct. How we see others is exactly how we see ourselves. If we judge others, we only judge ourselves. We're not judging another person. We only see the image of the other person. We don't see the other person for who they really are because we're meeting them in judgment. If we meet another person in judgment, then we only meet the judgment, the image of that which we are. You can only meet another person when you're in unconditional acceptance and you're feeling. not the sticky space of emotions, but feeling. Emotions are an identity of the ego. True feeling is open and expansive. It lies within and outside of, at the same time, the emotional body. And everything that is experienced here is rising higher. It is open, it is expansive. It is in the unseen. It is seen through the heart, not through the mind of judgment. So we are moving through the heart and we are seeing all that is. Observing a moment as it is happening infinitely, but also as it is happening through us, which is the internal observer, the internal clock, the internal acceptance of the moment. Now finally rising into Spirit Star. Opening into Spirit Star. Coming into the eternal existence of Spirit. And thank you for reflecting what you did. Coming into expanding. Expanding. And just allowing yourself to expand into the moment, connecting through the wing space, expanding into and through the eternal, where there is nothing needed, there's nothing other than just to be. And extending through the heart. Filling up. And anchor. We understand that we bring this through publicly. It gives everyone an opportunity to tune in, to join, to listen, to observe. We know that there are those that will tune in that do not understand because they do not choose to understand. They're not here for the experience. They're here to just speak thoughts. This is what I think about this. What I think about this, I judge it because I can only think about it. If I can only think about it, if I can't feel it, if I can't experience it, then I can only judge it. I have an opinion of it, and I create my entire opinion. This entire existence, this entire moment is formulated around an opinion that I think, what I think, what I think. Very. You might be conscious and aware, but you're just thinking. You're just observing. You're not experiencing. If you were experiencing, you would be in the moment and you'd be feeling. Which means you need nothing from me. You are here in this moment to join me, to be present, to allow. Many people want answers. They want to hear a message of hope. Many people want to hear that things are going to be okay. Things are always okay. You were always loved. You do not need to know what the future holds, and you do not need to know what's happening, because you are the one that is aware of what's happening. You're the only one that's aware of what's happening. Energetically, on a planetary collective level, there is a lot of reconstruction that is taking place. At the close of this year, shall we say, at the close of this cycle, it will continue on into the next cycle, because everyone is a mind, everyone is a mind, which means everyone is aware of what they are aware of, and that feedback comes back onto them continuously. If you are aware of something and you feed it out into the collective consciousness, and it comes back to you through those in the collective. So the only way to change is to internally will and change. It does not happen externally. You do not go out into the external and try to create something different. If you would like to experience something differently on a planetary scale, so that the feedback comes to you differently, then you approach every moment as an opportunity to experience differently. Everything internally is going to reflect back to you externally, always. Even in terms of the planetary ascension, you have gone down this road before. You are here to experience it differently this time. But if you come here, and you're here now through this body, through this mind, and you do the things that you've always done, well, then you're not really changing anything, are you? There will be a time, and we are seeing this, where the information, the data of the planet, which of course we have to remember that the planetary body has an emotional body as well as a physical body. She is a hive mind, as well as a physical material, as well as a feeling space. But she is also more. This is a space that everyone experiences through the mind of consciousness and the subconscious. But the rise out of that into the higher super is atomic. It's not dictated in the same way. It's not dictated through the higher. It's not dictated, it is not dictated through the hive. It is not dictated through the material. And there will come a time where the capacity, it is here now, the capacity of the information that is being extended into the planet, because it is growing. There's a greater capacity for this planet to hold energy now, because she is moving into a greater capacity of herself energetically, just as we are. This means that everything expands. This is why there's a lot of energy that is breaking. And there will be more to come. The more that she expands, the more, like a wave crashing to the shore, a break. Because there must, energy is always in motion, and when it can move no further, because the density is so great, it collapses. There will be many collapses. And this will look differently for everyone. For those that are higher in their awareness, they will be aware, but it will not affect them. For those that are lower in their awareness, it will hold a great catastrophe. It will be a calamity because that is the reality that they have designed for themselves. Remember the sticky space. There is no need to be stuck in the gateway of fear. There's no need to go into the sticky space of fear, for that is a killer of the mind. The mind is an open, expressive space. This is simply energy, and energy must move. Energy must expand. There will be many collapses of many systems, many collapses of many lines. This is already in motion. Of course, we see this. But everyone has their own perception of what that collapse looks like. The true collapse happens in the physical plane, on the physical eyes with what you see. The internal collapse happens through every choice. When you choose differently, you emit a different vibration, you come into a different reality. So even if the lower collapse is happening and there's calamity and there's disaster and there's destruction, you're like, yes, exactly. This is what's necessary. It's not that you're celebrating destruction, you're accepting. Most people wouldn't celebrate it if they had an injury, but you should, because it's an opportunity to learn. You manifested it. The collective of this planet has manifested everything that is coming to pass. And how you choose to perceive it will determine the totality of your reality, because that is all that you can control. Once everything comes to pass on a planetary scale in the physical material, it is already the past. And then you observe it again and it becomes the present. But then you're worried about the future when you are now creating. The future is here now, just as the past is here now. It is all happening right now. There is no difference. However, the way that you perceive time, moment to moment, perceives it differently. So you have a planet that is collapsing, and you have a planet that is expanding simultaneously. You have a planet that is undergoing destruction, and you have a planet that is undergoing rebirth, all happening simultaneous because of the choices. Many of you are choosing differently. Many of you are not. Those that choose differently, and we do not mean choosing differently meaning you're choosing a different material. No, we mean choosing differently in terms of the response, in terms of the reaction. You are choosing to behave differently, therefore you manifest differently, yes, but we mean internally choosing, the internal choice, which is vibration. Not choosing a different partner, not choosing a different friend, not choosing a different group. No, that is all a part of the game. That just feeds back to you that which you are. Because those that are meeting you are not meeting you in the material. They are meeting you in the atomic, subatomic. They are meeting you vibrationally. Just as we come together now, we are not together in thought, and yet we are. We're not just together in physical form, and yet we are. We're not together, and yet we are. And right now, your entire physical is being created around the perception of what is here now. And opening the gateway of the heart, reconnecting. and expanding. And as we've been speaking, there is a lot of reconstruction that is happening. You are moving in through different points of time. Anytime you become aware of something, you meet yourself there. How are you meeting yourself through time in this moment? What are you aware of? What are you accepting? What are you allowing? What is happening through different planes of existence? And we will finalize this now. Coming into and through the God Source Self, the connection to the monadic consciousness, directly coming into the connection through the oversoul of the self, the oversoul of the collective, and the oversoul of the planet. Connecting in. And receiving all downloads that are necessary. Receiving. And calling all points in time into the heart. Calling all points into the heart. And recreating the image in the highest form. Through the gateway of the unconditional. That which holds love in every cell. That which holds love in every fiber of the being. And just feeling the full presence of that flowing through you. Feeling that flowing through the nervous system. Feeling that flowing through the muscles, the tissues of the body. And coming in, anchoring and decompressing. Decompressing the nervous system. Decompressing. Decompressing the body. Coming back down. Decompressing. Okay. Decompressing, coming into the highest point of connection, just bringing it down a little bit from super. Dialing back down, decompressing. Decompressing. Okay. Thank you all for being here. Wow, look at that beam. Thank you all for receiving. Thank you. Today's was very, very different than, well, they're all different. I guess you could say they're all, every single one is very different. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for receiving. Thank you. There was a lot of new vibrational acclamations. There was new ranges, new points of consciousness being spoken, not consciousness, super consciousness, those in the higher super. And there is some decompression happening. Thank you, beautiful souls. Thank you. It took me a moment. I jumped in pretty quickly, more quickly than normal. And so I had to go through a point of acclimation. I was like, whoa, that was I got really nauseous. So I thank you all for hanging in there with me as that was happening. I do feel, yes, so many, it was beautiful. Thank you for receiving. I'm feeling it's been very interesting, and I would like to share a few notes in closing here as we just come down. Whew, still, still coming down a bit here. So when we talk about time, even my phone is lagging. We're coming down. Yeah, we're coming down. Um, let's let everything catch up vibrationally here. My phone's freezing. It's moving with me because everything in my reality is a creation of me. So it's meeting me. 1 second. I'm attention for my crystals to. So how we view time. Just balancing here. How we view time is very interesting because we seem to be concerned with the past versions of us, past lives, or what is coming with New Earth. But we forget that everything is happening simultaneous. Everything that exists already exists. We just come into different moments and we play out and act out the existence with a different set of choices. We get to choose differently. We're playing the role, right? But time is an eternal role, if you will, of energy. And it is in motion through us. Time is internal, not external. It's not dictated by the sun. It's not dictated by the moon. It's not, but of course this, I'm going to just move this a little bit, but of course that's a part of the game. That's a part of the experience. Those are actually, our sun is a gateway. Our moon is a machine. It's operating, it's parts of organic matter that have been constructed and are operating to serve and support the magnetic pull of the planet, as all moons do. So many want to know like what's coming and you know, creating new earth and all of these things, but it already exists. It already exists. It's we in every moment meet ourselves in the version of the earth that we have created, because we can only see one portion of our creation, and that's moment to moment. So one of the biggest things that's been coming through, I agree. It's a beautiful construct. It really is. And now that we've been zooming out a lot more, and I've been viewing it from these spaces of reflection. Apologies, I cut my phone off whenever I was putting it back in here. Okay, so we'll see if this will hang in there. it's a it's a continual roll energy, and in every single moment we imprint it, we imprint it, we imprint it with our design, and we can come back into that design and we can imprint it again. And so it's a roll of energy, and it's always in motion through us. So if we want a different design of time, then we come back in through a body, we come back in through the design, and we recreate it. And therefore we can recreate a planetary experience, because we are planetary oversouls. We are connected as a collective of planetary oversouls, as individual oversouls. So the wisdom and the truth, this is our Akash, as we know, but we're also, there was what I'm feeling is there was a bunch of us that determined that we could come back in and provide a higher path for the planetary oversoul, to allow it to not only move through the ascension, but going into, with the connection of the hybridization of the human, which has been happening, by the way. The hybridization has been happening. We talk about the 3 waves and such. The waves are also happening as hybridization. We have those that we hold contracts with. This is, of course, why the Greys came in. The Greys are a part of the collective oversoul creation. They work in supporting that. That's why they come in and they work with us. And so what this is it's a melting pot of different experiences through those of us that are not natural, shall we say. It's not our, we came in here to have the experiences of the planet, but we're not original seeders. We're here as visitors. So we're beginning to, and what happened previously was an attempt to splice the DNA again, but this again happened through those, and it's happening still. It's still happening. It's carrying over into now, where the attempt to, it's already happening. Creating clones, splicing DNA. This happened in the Atlantean lines, so it's happening again. We came back in at this point in time to attempt to shift that, but new choices must be made. So new choices are being made. We're influencing the collective oversoul. Those that are wanting and aware now that the hybridization happens differently. It doesn't happen through the way that we think it happens, where you try to force a different outcome. Hybridization is through a contract where the person is conscious and aware, they're in agreement of it, and it's serving a higher purpose to allow the consciousness to come in through different lines of time. And that's what this is about. So I hope everyone is able to receive this. I hope my phone is not blotching this too much. Please let me know if you're able to experience this, and if you're able to receive this, please let me know. If it's too laggy, then we'll close it out. It's lagging pretty bad. I'm trying to connect it. I'm trying to come back in. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, everything is trying. The waves, the frequencies are coming in, but it's a bit difficult or not difficult, it's just they're finding their vibration. So thank you all for the reflection. I do feel, since it was reset, I reset it. So, okay, you guys. Yep, hang on. I'm just gonna move. YouTube just shut me down completely. So what I was speaking into really, and I'm just gonna stand here, is that, the hybridization also is a part of the waves, the 3 waves, where we were coming back in through different moments in time, incarnating to begin the process of recreating, because it's already created, recreating a new experience. And so man, my phone, nothing is liking me since coming back down, you guys. This is really crazy. I've never had this happen. Nothing is wanting to accept my nothing's wanting to accept here. Hang on. We're going to get this because I really would like to share what's here, what's coming through. Okay, let me know if this stays. I'll just hang out right here. So we could think of the lines like film strips. Okay. Film strips, projector strips. What do you mean by that, Yvonne? Do you think it's cutting out because I'm talking about hybridization? Could be it. Could be from the control frequencies. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to prop this little bad boy up right there, and we're just going to do it old school style here. And I'll finish while it stabilizes, and we'll just do this. Okay, so think of it like projector, like a projector strip. And a projector strip are the lines. And please let me know if you guys can hear me, because I'm just going to keep it right where I feel like I'm going to get the best reception. So with the projector strip, we come into one of the images on the projector strip. And as we're in that image, in that moment, then we get to recreate the image. We get to recreate that moment in time. So we came back into this body because this body is an image, right? It's an image. We have extended ourselves into the moment because everything is happening simultaneous. Everything is happening. That's already happened and that already will happen, already could happen. We just choose it different. So we came here for a different experience or a new experience. Maybe we haven't been here before, but being a part of the waves means being a part of a higher oversoul. I'm hearing a higher oversoul, meaning all of the different outcomes, everything up until these waves started coming in, where we collectively agreed to come in, experience, influence, acknowledging that we could hold a higher connection, bringing that higher connection in, influencing the strip, influencing the outcome. Does that make sense? Because the outcome is already the outcome and it's already happening. We're just influencing it. We're just influencing it. So let me see if I can move this back here. So if we're just influencing it, then we're here now by our choices, and our choices influence. So when we talk about lines closing, you can't hear me at all, Yvonne? You can't hear it? Are you got, nobody can hear me? Or you can't hear me at all? Okay, you might need to go out and come back in, Yvonne. Just go out and come back in, my dear. Yeah, just go out and come back in, my dear. That's all. So we're influencing. Let me try this one more time. Yeah, just can someone type to Yvonne and let her know to go out and come back in, please? Go out and come back in. I think she got it. Okay, so I would like everyone to just take a moment and receive this and allow this. I feel like many of us are trying to control the outcome of the planet instead of accepting and acknowledging that our service comes from, thank you both. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our service comes from the choice. Now, those of you that are, yes, thank you. Thank you. Those of you that are in my group space, this is something we were reflecting upon. That service comes from the choice. So if we would like to serve, we serve through the choice. Welcome back. Can you hear? I hope so. Thank you, beautiful ladies. Thank you. So we serve through the choice. If we would like to experience the different projector strips, so the lines of time don't actually close because lines of time are eternally evolving. They just move out of the parameters of experience. So what's actually happening is, so this is what I'm feeling, because we're talking about energy collapsing, and I would like to call in from the higher super just to confirm and oversee the reflection here, making sure I'm picking up on everything simultaneously correctly. But as energy expands through choice, it expands out into the manifested collective, and then it reverberates back. So lines of time, or the projector strips, actually end up just coming back around and collapsing in on themselves and then expanding out again. Like the creation and birth of a star. There's a collapse and then an expansion, a collapse and an expansion. And everything is energy that's always in motion. So we talk about things closing and collapsing almost like, you know, we just energetically got rid of it, but that's not what happens. No, energy is always in motion, even those projector lines. So lines of time are energetically through us. They are through us. Everything is happening through us. These lines are happening through us, but they're lines of choice. So when we're no longer choosing from a very specific line, it energetically vibrates away from us. But that line is still there. It's still open and available. It's there because other people are choosing it. So eventually the lower, shall we say, the lower, denser lines will eventually vibrate fully out and will return and come back in. They will be pulled back in like a black hole. But they're always in motion. And yes, contraction and expansion. So anytime we breathe life into a new choice by choosing, by like seeing something differently in that moment, we see something, we experience it, and it imprints into our field, and therefore we hold the experience. It becomes our truth, but we allow it to move on. We do not keep it constant. That's where we loop, is because we think something has to be the same way that we've received it. This is especially happens when we read books or we receive information, we attempt to reenact it. It doesn't mean we're not. But if we go solely on that information, instead of allowing everything to come in and be received in the moment of receiving, and then allowing the experience, allowing the expansion, allowing that to be what is, and then moving on to the next, remembering that nothing is defined except through the mind. The definition comes through what we believe something should be, or needs to be, or has to be. And so when that happens, we become a definitive planet by design. So if we go on, exactly, if we choose differently in every moment, we perceive differently, we feel differently, we accept differently, then the lines begin to flow differently. There will be a major expansion through the planet, and then there will be a collapse. There will be an expansion, and then there will be a collapse. There's going to be a lot of these because the planet is expanding through those that are choosing differently. But the choice, and here's the kicker. The choice isn't what many people think it is. And we can see this very clearly, and we understand, we know many are here through the spiritual plane, and we are so grateful for that. But there's a lot of belief systems at work that are really acting through the archetypal shell. Remember that that's a form of reality. You're not really moving, you're just you're enacting on an archetypal permission slip. It's an archetypal permission slip. A god or a goddess is of our creation. It doesn't mean that they haven't existed, but they continue existing through our archetypal information field. Intentional choosing, exactly. When we are intentional with our choice, when there is unconditional acceptance and love that flows into it. And I do feel like this is the service. This is true service for me, is in every single moment I choose from a space where I am unconditionally accepting of all that I am and everything that exists, no matter what it is. Even if I have a moment where I go into judgment, I unconditionally love and accept that moment. I do not choose it again, hopefully, but I accept it. Now, so we know that there are two different planes acting out on the planet right now. We've got two different planets that are moving, and we see this. We've got war and destruction, and we've got peace and prosperity, right? Those that magnetize themselves to one or the other are going to move into those fields of choice vibrationally. And this is what's happening with the planet right now. Okay. When you vibrate and magnetize yourself to the unconditional love and acceptance, you go into that plane, into that planet. When you vibrationally magnetize into fear, you're going into that planet. There actually is a separation that's happening energetically, vibrationally, because choice fields are determining it. The choice fields that are higher, yes, exactly. Choice fields that are higher cannot interact with choice fields that are lower. It's not a vibrational match. You just can't do it, right? Like if you have a tuning fork of 528 hertz, a tuning fork of 424 hertz. If you hit them both together, you wouldn't get any response by anything in the field. If you had anything hanging up, you couldn't get a vibrational reflection because they're not matching vibrations. They cancel each other out. So this means in order to allow the experiences not to cancel each other out, one must vibrate higher, one must vibrate lower. And so we have two planets operating simultaneously because of the waves of those coming in that had agreed and accepted to infiltrate from higher choices and to receive higher points of reflection, just like us when we channel and agreeing. But we also must be conscious of where we go when we channel. And that's been the biggest thing for me, is because I have channeled from a place of ego, absolutely. And it was attempting to control what was coming through. Like I wanted it to be this, I wanted it to be that. I felt like this is what was necessary and this is what was needed. Just like today, I could feel myself. I was like, oh, what if people are wanting this? What if people are wanting that? What if they're wanting this? But super consciousness was like, no, this is what is. This is what is. This is what's necessary. And I was there. I'm there with super consciousness. I am. And I accept it. Therefore, everything flows. So ability to step and get out of our own way and to allow ourselves to be the antenna of the higher. But this is the antenna of the higher with out needing to identify. I feel like that's a big one, where we need to have certain ones come in, but then we also allow certain energies to come in, right? We don't go into something needing to present it, but we accept and allow that if we want to be in the channel of service, then we allow whatever is there to come through. And we are the vessel and we are the channel and we are the conduit for that service. And that service is a choice in the moment to be the expansive experience. And that's what this is. Now, on a planetary scale, I really feel, so this is the way I'm feeling everything. Let's see, what are we receiving? Yeah, so vibrationally, if you reduce all the numbers to the years, right? We're in an 8 year, if you will, this year. It's 8 and 5. Next year is 7 and 9. That's a reduction, but it's also, so vibrationally, energetically, do you see how we're moving? The top number is moving higher. I could have that backwards. Let me review that. It is 7 and 9, but I'm actually hearing, oh, okay, so I was invited to put the 7 on top, which is energetically interesting because, ah, for those, the 5, the point of vibrational balance and split. This is where the year has been, this year was the beginning, was a really intensification, what I'm feeling, an intensification of the middle point where choices, everyone was really coming into a higher point of choice. Even right now, it's 5 and 5 on the screen. It's a point of balance where the choice fields are beginning to pull away and that split is happening, but it's, even though it's a split, it's a balance, which is beautiful. Everything is always in balance. So next year, when we go into the year, it's 9. But there are cycles of 7, vibrational oscillations of 7. The spiritual wisdom is what I'm hearing. The vibrational spiritual wisdom is overtaking the heavy point and leading. Now, okay, so let me reflect what I'm receiving as what that means. Even though it reduces to 9 and the number goes up 1, for those that are in the vibrational choices, no, I can see it playing out in both fields. For those that are in the vibrational choices of heavy, the 9 is going to determine a complete reset. It's either going to be a complete reset, there's going to be major collapse, or new beginnings. And there's both happening simultaneous. So next year is going to be a very, very big year energetically of a major planetary reset. And the fields go further apart. And this is what we were receiving in the channeling, the destruction, the collapse, the expansion. A lot of that is happening. And that energy is catapulting the 7 up, the spiritual intelligence, the vibration of those holding the spiritual intelligence vibrating up. Does that make sense? This is how we're receiving. So the underlying 9, which is reset, beginning, is either going to be a definition of collapse and destruction or rebirth and anew, depending on the collective choice of the person. It's either going to be something that builds, that lifts a person up or buries them. This year was the balance. It was the opportunity before that began. It was like hanging in the balance. Which way are you going? This is why, for those of you in my group, this is why the choice, the self-mastery, this is why we've been going through it. Very important. So the understanding, like what you said, of intentional choice, that is the gateway. The intentional choice, the consciousness that is not bound by the egoic reality. It is intentional. It's not just doing it because it thinks it needs it. It's very intentional. It understands the choice. It is not anchored into the lower desire of destruction and even the perception of death, because we die every night when we go to sleep. It's many will move on to allow there to be a greater expansiveness of energetic availability on the planetary scale, which is also making room for the hybridization to expand even more. So I'm hearing that we're coming upon a crux. We are at the crux. It's breaking. It's breaking. Like the wave coming to shore. It's breaking. I'm seeing this happening in my group space right now. Many are moving out, like the wave moving out, and then there's going to be a great one bringing others in. It's a flow of energy. So we have, yeah, I feel that. Like a great wave washing over the planet. A great wave of energy, which is the rebounding. It's the mirror of this year choice, just how it is every year cycle. But the choices are becoming more expansive. They're coming from a greater space of awareness, which requires a greater space of experience on a collective scale. The oversouls are shifting. Which is beautiful, because that's what really this is everything is just matching the moment. The planet is matching the moment. And we are projecting based on what we think, what we believe. And then everything is molding to that according on the material realm, but on the higher spirit, as we move higher, we realize we're not bound by that material. This is where many people will be moving through this coming year, is the release from the binding of the material. It doesn't mean you don't enjoy, it doesn't mean you don't experience or enjoy. It's just there's a sticky space there where many people are still very, very stuck in the material. Material meaning need, desire, lower basal desire. Yes, and we feel that space is opening. Yep. We're just matching the version of the planet that we choose. So does this mean, and I do feel like this wasn't, it's almost like it's unavailable, but I can access it. Because I've always stated and declared that this planet has never been through an ascending portal. But it has, it always has, because nothing is not, it always is. So this means the planet has already ascended. We're just going through the moment in time of experience. That's interesting. It already has. But see, all of those that come in and reflect, and I can feel that, even for myself, I feel like it's opened because it's an availability through this point in time to be able to allow an acceptance of that, is that the planet has already ascended. We're just matching the points in time, like the strip. It's already happened. And that brings on a completely different tone. And that means it's not about the outcome. It's always and ever been about the experience and the journey. Instead of trying to make instead of trying to fix something and trying to make it happen, instead of trying to make it happen, which is what I feel a lot of us, I've been caught up in. Like, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? How do we need to match this? What do we need to do so that we can have the experience? But all that's necessary is, yes, matching the tone, coming into the spaces where we are right now, and going into and through the attunements and the atonements, which we will be doing regularly. You guys know I offer those on here and in my group especially. You guys get it all the time. But yes, it's about going through attuning and toning and allowing it all to come in. And I can tell you right now, from this space of the way that this has been happening and allowing, I have been experiencing completely, and I'm talking about instantly new paradigms. I went to bed after the collective activation on 12/21. I woke up in a completely different reality. So it's here. It's now. All we have to do is attune, tone it, accept it, allow it to come in, and then we're there. So this, what I would say in closing, is the difference between projecting what we think we know and then being the vessel and the incoming receiving of what is. And if we're the vessel and the receiving of what is, then of course, yes, we will take what it is that we experience and we will create from that space. But that is what's allowing us to create from a different space, is to be the open vessel. That's what it is. So I hope everyone is able to feel that. I hope everyone is able to feel that. I know that I am. It's moving. It's moving through. And there were, we've gone through, I believe I brought this through for my group. I don't think it was the collective, but we've moved through different imprints, different programs of different lines. And what I feel that is different holographic realities through the mind that are able to come in and supplement that space. For a person that is living in fear, you will have different holographic realities that will be inserted and meet you there. Yes. However, when you're operating from the heart and higher, everything is a moment to moment experience, but it is free. You do not require a holographic reality to reflect to you what you think it is that you are perceiving. You have an experience of what is, which is completely different. And that is imprinted into your vibrational coding. And now your vibrational coding can reflect that back to you until the next moment. And this is what we are doing. So now for anyone that is interested, I know I've talked about my group space. I do have some spaces opening for anyone that is in, would like to join, would like to be a part of our journey. I bring through activations on a bit of a deeper scale than this, but and we go through, we have a WhatsApp group. I bring through a lot of activations. We gather together, we reflect. It's donation based, but I do request, since it's a monthly paid donation, that there is at least $122. And if you need to make that arrange payments, I'm open to that. But there is a lot that comes through energetically. So there's a lot of channeled reflections. We go through self-realizations, self-mastery reflections, understanding behaviors of the self, accepting, acknowledging, receiving the mirror through me and others. And then, of course, our activations and experiences. It's very, very beautiful. This space is always changing. It's never the same. Everything, it molds around where we are. It's not it's not defined by anything specific. It's just a space where we come together and have these experiences. And I guide and open up a space like this multiple days a week during the availability. And we gather for those that are interested. It's not something you have to dial into, but it's there for you if you want. And it's to have such experiences as this, to be able to go into and kind of come out of the material realm where we are so defined, and redefine ourselves through a higher connection, and then come back in and have that experience. And we do this often so that we can consistently learn how to hold that connection, because everything is vibration, everything is tone, everything is sound and light. And so we go up, we match it, we bring, and then we come back down, we decompress, like today, go up, match, come back down. And so we energetically integrate and expand. So if anyone is interested, you can reach out to me on Instagram, and I will have information in the description if you would like to email me. And it's definitely always expanding. There's a lot. There's a lot. But it's always there to support. It's not something that you have to receive, but if you do, it will support and assist in very, very great ways. So that is open, available for anyone that's interested. You can reach out and let me know. And of course, yes, I do bring them through here, but those are a little bit different because we're coming together through a collective contract, and it's very, very powerful. I mean, today's powerful. These are always powerful, but those are kind of like, those are definitely those next level. They're next level. They're really, really powerful. So, yeah, that's available for anyone that's interested, and it's month to month. It's not recurring. You choose. If you don't want to be in the next month, you just say, hey, contract's done. Thank you. Great. Good deal. So yes, thank you all. Thank you. This has been beautiful. Thank you for decompressing with me. Thank you for moving through this. This has been extremely amazing, and I'm so grateful to every one of you that have chosen to be here. This has been a beautiful journey of self-discovery and understanding. It feels very, very good. I don't know about you guys, but I feel amazing. I feel amazing. I can feel where everything, and there's still, I will say in the final closing here, you might feel some waves, okay? Especially if you go sit and you're still or you lay down, you might definitely feel it. No, you will definitely feel it. You will, okay? You will feel yourself moving and flowing and coming into and through the flux field. It's a quantum flux field, and you will be quantumly flexing. So if you would like to have that experience, you can go lay down and you will enjoy that for at least a few hours, because this vibration is going to continue for a little while. So thank you for receiving. For those of you that are just going to be here for the public lives, I will bring through the next one as soon as I am able. For those that are interested in the group or in the group, I will probably have one tomorrow for you. So if you're interested in the group and you'd like to dial in and join us, then like I said, reach out. I will have the information in the description if you're not connected to me on Instagram. And yeah, thank you. I love you all so much, and I thank you for everything, and I look forward to the next time. So until then, Adonai.